Hey Modrunners, hope you're all doing well out there. Welcome to another episode of Modrenman. Today we are going to be talking about scuba diving and what it takes to actually get started with learning how to scuba dive. First off, I want to tell you that I'm a PADI instructor, and PADI is an organization that sets up the curriculum for teaching you how to scuba dive. You go through a PADI class, but there are other different types of organizations out there. There's NAUI and SSI, NESDS, all sorts of different organizations, LA County. But because I'm a PADI instructor, I'm going to talk about what it takes to become PADI certified. So first off, there's several different materials that you'll get when you sign up for a scuba class. You can go into a dive shop and sign up for a class, and they're going to get you some materials and some basic gear. And that's what I have around me today. So first off, I have an example here of the textbook and the DVDs, textbook and videos. What you end up doing is you end up going through the textbook, and after each chapter there's a set of homework, a knowledge review. And you go through that on your own, and you study your materials as well as watching your videos, and that will help you give you an understanding of what it's like for learning how to scuba dive and what it takes to get certified, the different skills that you go through. It's a great educational format, so you'll go through and you'll do your videos, and then you'll do some work in the pool, and then you go out to the ocean and you show your instructor the skills that you get, the skills that you've done to learn to scuba dive. I like the textbook and videos, but the CD-ROM is another format that they have where you, instead of watching the video separately and doing the textbook separately, you go through and you click and you do your schoolwork, your homework, your knowledge section via the CD-ROM. Or you can even do it online now. They have online classes, which is really cool. So basically, these are your basic materials. So this is an example of the textbook and videos. Like I said, after each chapter, there you go through the first chapter, is about 70 pages or so, and then you have a knowledge review. And this is something that you fill out, showing that you understand the material you've just done. And then you come into the classroom section, and you have your knowledge review already filled out, and you give it to your instructor, and they go over it with you, and then you take a quiz. And after each chapter, and there are 5 chapters, you take a quiz, and the 5th chapter, after you finish your 5th chapter, that's when you take your final exam. And that's basically the textbook materials. And every time you take a class, if you go on to do specialty courses, this is enriched air. After you do each section, they also have a knowledge review at the end of the chapter to help you understand, make sure that you learn the materials that you need to do. After you've done your textbook stuff and you've taken your quizzes and your final exam, you can go on to do the pool work. A lot of instructors will mix and match classroom, pool, classroom, pool, classroom, pool. That way you're going in the water as well as learning your materials. Every instructor is a little different. Every class is a little different. Anywhere between, say, a month-long class to as quickly as 3 or 4 days, you can actually get certified. So after you've done your classroom and you've done your pool, the pool is the golden time. That's the time that you are going to spend on working and honing your skills. For instance, learning how to remove and replace your mask, or how to recover your regulator from over your shoulder. All these different things you're going to learn in the pool and practice in the pool before you go out to the final section, which is the ocean, where your instructor will actually teach you, or not teach you, will actually have you demonstrate the skill so that you can do it repeatedly, and the instructor knows that you can confidently do these skills, which are skills that you learn when you're becoming a diver. Once again, clearing a partially flooded mask. You having a little bit of water inside your mask and you clear your mask out. Those are the different types of skills. There's a whole bunch of different skills. I'm not going to go into detail because this is basically just learning about what it's like to scuba dive. So that's your textbook and materials, and now we're going to get into the basic stuff. And I'm going to go into each detail on specifics on future episodes, but this is just your basic stuff to get started. You're going to need your mask, fins, gloves, booties, and snorkel, as well as a whistle and some sort of surface signaling device. Basically, the most important thing that you're going to get is going to be your mask. The whole reason of going down underwater is to go and look at stuff. So you want to get a mask that fits your face and works really well for you. I'll go into more specifics on masks later. Some masks have a dark skirt, some have a clear skirt. They come in different shapes and sizes, but basically what you want with the mask is you want to make sure that it seals on your face. So that you have a suction. No mask is perfect. Don't let anybody fool you and say, oh, this is the best mask. The best mask is really the mask that fits your face. Everybody's face is a little different, but there's bells and whistles to different masks. This particular mask has a large area and it's angled so that it lets you see when you're clipping things up on your body, clipping on things onto your BCD. This mask is really cool if you own a GoPro. It's a mask that actually attaches a GoPro to it so that you're not afraid if you lose your head mount for your GoPro and your mask, you don't know you've lost your GoPro, whereas this one's actually attached to the mask itself. So if I lose my mask, I know if I lose my GoPro, I've lost my mask. It's going to come off my face. So this is a GoPro style mask, and I really like this mask. And we'll talk more about this mask specifically later. I'll do a review on it later. So you have your mask. Next thing is your fins. Fins come in a variety of different styles, pivoting blades, whether they're split fin, things like that. So your mask, your fins, whether it's a solid blade, stiff, the shape of the blade. Mask, fins, gloves. You want to make sure here in California that you have a thermal protection on your hands. In warm water locations, you just want something to cover your hands from exposure to things like fire coral, other things, jellyfish stings. But here in California, we have a thicker glove because we actually want warmth on our hands. So picking out a pair of gloves that have a thickness to them that once again fits your hands. Mask, fins, gloves, booties. Once again, they come in a variety of different styles, thicker soles, the thickness of the neoprene, whether it's 7 millimeters or 5 millimeters, all the different soles. Your snorkel. When you are not actually scuba diving, you'll use your snorkel in your mouth to save air in your tank. So having a snorkel that you like, as well as in between dives, if you want to do a surface interval, and you'll learn more about that when you take your class, you can go snorkeling around without your scuba gear and still check out the really cool fish. Maybe some whales are swimming by, or dolphin, or other things, turtles. So you want something that you can actually have on the surface and when you're not scuba diving, and then when you have your scuba tank on your back, it helps conserve air from your scuba tank. So having a snorkel, this snorkel's cool because if a wave comes, it will drain here first, and then it's got a purge down here at the bottom, so I can clear out my snorkel really easily. So see, mask, fins, gloves, booties, snorkel, a whistle. This right here, simple whistle, for emergency purposes. If I need to, alert somebody on the shore, on the boat, instead of screaming my lungs out, I can just blow my whistle. So having a whistle, and then also a signaling device. I have it in my VCD, an inflatable tube, an air horn for underwater, so a signaling device. And there's other little things that you can get, and we'll talk more about those in future episodes. But basically, that's the basics on learning to get started with learning how to scuba dive. You have, once again, your textbook and your materials, either your DVD and your textbook or your CD-ROM. Your personal gear, mask, fins, gloves, booties, snorkel, whistle, signaling device. And then a positive attitude. Go out to your local dive shop and sign up for a class. It's a lot of fun, and that's basically the starter stuff. That's all for today. I hope you have a great weekend, and no matter what you do out there, find your passion.